Hey everybody, welcome to Jacob's Quest, and today we got some brand new Spider-Man 3, Spider-Man No Way Home news. Rumors, well, it's news. It's just news now, because it's been confirmed. Confirmed rumors, which means it's just news. Anyways, but before I get into it, I kind of want to rewind the clock a little bit. Let's kind of pick up everything that we officially know, question mark. Basically, yes, because it's been confirmed. First, none of this has been confirmed by Sony or Marvel, but the actors in both of these cases have come out and said something, so yeah. First, way back in October of last year, Jamie Foxx coming back for Spider-Man 3 as Electro by The Hollywood Reporter. So that was just like a thing. We didn't know the title of the movie yet. We didn't know anything yet. And while all of this is happening, there's of course smaller rumors that are even less confirmed about oh, someone saw Andrew Garfield on set, maybe, kind of. I've never personally seen a picture of that, but maybe it's true, I don't know. Anyways, later on, Jamie Foxx says on Instagram, which he later deleted, tell Spidey, let's run it back. Super excited to be part of the new Marvel Spider-Man new installment. Can't wait for y'all to check this new one out, and I won't be blue in this one, but 1000% badass. So yeah, right there, he's confirming that it's happening, so that's cool, right? That was way back in still October actually of 2020. So then later in December of last year, Hollywood Reporter again came back and said, hey, Alfred Molina is also returning as Doc Ock. And this is really where okay, we're absolutely doing this Spider-Verse thing. You know, and the Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire rumors are still really strong. I think Andrew Garfield might be essentially confirmed as well, but today what we got, Alfred Molina is now just openly talking about it. So he's essentially confirming it as well. Let's actually just go ahead and read this one. This is from Variety. We're just gonna read this whole thing. When Alfred Molina was first invited to reprise his role as the villainous Otto Octavius in Spider-Man No Way Home, the forthcoming third installment of Marvel Cinematic Universe's Spider-Man films led by Tom Holland, he said he was told to keep it quiet. When we were shooting it, we were all under orders not to talk about it because it was supposed to be some great big secret, Molina said with a laugh during an interview with Variety about his role in the Oscar-nominated Promising Young Women. But you know, it's all over the internet. I actually described myself as the worst kept secret in Hollywood. So, you know, the actors are very well aware that their stuff, it's leaked, it happened. So that's kind of funny. That just happens and they're just like, okay, it happened. Instead, not only did Molina confirm his involvement in No Way Home, he happily detailed his experience making the movie and returning to a part he first played in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2 in 2004. It was wonderful, he said. It was very interesting going back after 17 years to play the same role, given that in the intervening years I now have two chins, a waddle, crow's feet, and a slightly dodgy lower back. He's gained some weight, he's gotten older. It happens to everybody. Or most people, it's normal. Anyways, when the actor asked John Watts, the director of No Way Home, how the movie would bring Doc Ock back since he pointed out I died, Molina said the director told him, in this universe, no one really dies. You know, comic books, that's just the way it is, right? In Spider-Man 2, Molina played scientist Otto Octavius, who is poised to be a mentor to Maguire's Peter Parker when a lab accident turns him into a murderous Doc Ock, so named for the 4 mechanical arms fused to his back, blah 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 blah. Skip the end. In the movie's climactic scene, Peter appeals to Otto's good side and he drowns himself and his reactor in the East River before the city is destroyed. In their earlier conversations, Molina said Watts told him that the movie will pick up Doc Ock's story from that moment in the river, which in a franchise that includes multiverses, time travel, and diverging timelines seems plausible enough. And then he basically, from that point on, he kind of had concerns because he's older, and then I guess the director of the next Spider-Man basically told him oh, we're gonna de-age you digitally, so you'll look like you did in 2004, which, you know, they're not making him look like he's 20 or something, you know, so I think it'll actually end up looking a lot better. But they use some examples hey, look, Sam Jackson and Captain Marvel, you know, we made him look, you know, kind of like he did in the 90s, you know. So anyways, Neither Sony Pictures nor Marvel Studios, which are co-producing Spider-Man No Way Home, has confirmed Molina's return, but news of his casting leaked last year, along with reports that Jamie Foxx will also appear as Electro, the villain he played in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Later, Zendaya, another Spider-Man lead actor, seemingly confirmed Molina's casting during a conversation with Carey Mulligan for Variety's Actors on Actors series. I didn't even know about that. The casting of Molina and Fox would unite the three generations of Spider-Man movies, the Maguire-Raimi cycle, the Mark Webb-Andrew Garfield installments, and the newest Spider-Man starring Holland and directed by Watts. No Way Home is currently scheduled to be a Christmas time release on December 17th. This year. Pretty cool. Okay, so there you go. It's, you know, it's confirming news that we all kind of knew, but not, you know, not like officially knew. But yeah, the actors are talking about it. It's happening. Now, does this confirm that Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are going to be in this movie? I will say there's like a 95% chance that yes, they're both going to be in this movie. It would be very strange if they're not at this point. But even more interesting than all of that, because when Jamie Foxx said he's not going to be Blue, a lot of people were kind of taking that as, oh, maybe he's playing a different version of Electro. He's not playing literally that same one who was in that fight and teamed up with that version of Green Goblin, and you know, like maybe he's not playing literally that version. However, Alfred Molina's comments about picking up like in that exact moment in the river, that seems to confirm that no, he's literally that guy. You know, let's see, what did he say exactly? Yeah, the movie will pick up Doc Ock's story from that moment. Now that, you know, it's like, what does that mean? What does that mean? Okay, so if we're doing Spider-Verse, you imagine some sort of portal is gonna open, something's gonna happen, right? Like in that moment. What I can very easily see happening in this situation is that the device that he's destroying in that moment, instead of destroying the city like they thought it would, instead it opens a portal and it closes really quickly and Doc Ock gets sucked inside, and that can explain that. And Electro, he got like super crazy electrified and he like exploded with particles. That could explain that, you know. So I don't know, they could do it that way, or they could just have some other way of opening a portal of some kind. Either way, it would seem that's how you can keep this timeline intact. You can make it seem like, oh well, he died, but like no, really he just got teleported to a different multiverse, right? Like that's seems simple enough of how you could explain that away, right? They just never found his body because he just got sent away. This is really exciting. You know, obviously we've all halfway knew that this was the direction it's all going, and but this is, it's, I don't know, it's just, it's awesome to finally have something essentially officially confirmed, right? Like obviously the studios are not going to come out and say anything, but this is as official as it can get. Other than that, it's the actors just saying it. Now here's my thing about all of this is you know, how much are these characters going to be in the movie? Because we're basically gonna have to split this whole multiverse time travel thing with the idea that, oh hey, Tom Holland's Spider-Man has this big problem where everyone thinks he killed Mysterio. You know, so how are those two plot lines even remotely gonna connect to each other, really? That's very interesting. I don't know. Also, I will say there are a series of rumors out on Reddit that came out the other day. I mentioned them on Twitter, but I'm not going to bother to read the whole thing here. You know, everything on Reddit, it's like, is it possible that it's true? Yeah, sure. I mean, stuff on Reddit has been true before, but there's a high percentage chance that it's not. So I will wait until more people come out and say something. I believe Daniel Rickman did come out with something on his Patreon, and I find Daniel Rickman to be pretty reliable. He did say that, oh, someone is gonna die in this movie. I think it's probably gonna be Happy Hogan. It makes sense. Jon Favreau's busy. The Iron Man thing isn't happening anymore because Tony Stark died. So it makes sense for Happy Hogan to be the one who's taken out of the picture. But if it was like Ned or something, that'd be more devastating for Peter. Anyways, so there's that. But yeah, pretty exciting, pretty crazy. I mean, here's my thing about all this though. These major trades like the Hollywood Reporter and Variety and all this stuff, you know, they'll break these stories because they do talk to people on the inside and stuff like that. My thing is that they have this sort of like understanding relationship with the actual studios. You know, like if Disney came out and they were like, you know, they know Variety has information when they have it. They can be like, hey, do not run that story, and Variety wouldn't run it because they want to keep that sort of relationship with Disney of like, you know, being dripped information that no one else is gonna get, right? So my thing is that basically Disney or Sony or whoever essentially had to okay this, or at the very least not okay this, you know what I mean? They essentially had to be like, it's fine, we'll let them release it, just we're not gonna stop them, you know? So that's also very interesting. I wouldn't be so surprised if we got some sort of more teasers or trailers, or at least a poster or something relatively soon in the next month or two. I wouldn't be so surprised because it's coming out in December and all this stuff is coming out anyways. And Sony's not as big on the secretive nature of things as Disney is, so that would also explain a lot of this as to, you know, Sony, I imagine, is like, just tell them whatever, you know, as long as it's garnering interest for the movie, Sony's probably fine with just letting everything be known, basically. So anyways, yeah, very, very exciting stuff. I'm ready for it. And look, I know some people are already on Twitter saying like, well, this is gonna ruin the ending of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2. Okay, look, stop. Okay, my thing is like, this is a multiverse story. If you want to believe, if you want to just go on for the rest of your life saying no, Spider-Man 2 ended and then Spider-Man 3 happened and then that was the end, you can just do that. Like, those movies are not gonna, you know, retroactively be edited to show these events. You can ignore this if you want. So, you know, getting all pissed off on Twitter seems silly. You know, it's just like Star Wars. If you want to say in your own brain that it ended after a certain point, you can do that. No one's gonna stop you. You still have your DVDs. It's fine. So anyways, I can imagine that's already going to be a conversation. Also, Sam Raimi is working on Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is going to be in this Spider-Man. They're having conversations. People are talking to each other. So chill out. You know what I mean? Anyways, very exciting. I'm so down for, make it as weird and crazy as you can. You know, here's my thing about this. Even if the story is like a jumbled mess, they already have so much built up spectacle of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield and these different eras of Spider-Man. Even if like the plot is incomprehensible, I don't care, because I'm here to like, oh, I'm gonna see Doc Ock back and Tobey Maguire back, and even seeing Andrew Garfield back could be pretty cool. You know, even though those movies were you know. But yeah, I'm very, very excited. Anyways, let me know what you think. Let me know, are you okay with stuff like this being essentially just told to you months and months before the movie comes out? Or would you rather this have been like the super tight secrets and no one confirms anything? Which way do you prefer your information to be released? Because, you know, this is pretty rare that, you know, an actor or, you know, a studio would just kind of okay this information just, you know, very widely on Variety, which is a major website, just releasing this out in the open. You know, this is stuff that usually is kept quiet in the depths of, well, Reddit, really. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts about leaks and spoilers and stuff just being confirmed like this, and how excited you are for this movie. And I'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye!